Love me like you do. Love me like you do. Dear diarrhea. Diary full of shit. Just play along, me, myself, and I, and no one else. Yo, yo, so legit. Yeah. Hey. How many kids you want, Kleber? Cocinaboo's probably mad at me. So's Kleber, probably. What did you say? I'm paraphrasing, but I think it was something along the lines of, "I'm so done with your dusty old ass." Well, that's all right. Because no matter what happens, you know what I mean. It's like meant to be, you know. Well, you know, if that's all it took, you know, to get you to, have a change of heart, well, I guess it's better that it happens sooner rather than later. So, what? Just because I expressed an interest in another chick, that means I'm high value. It's different. It's good to be the king, or I mean, a dude, you know. Guy, you know, because and that's I. What am I trying to say? You know, it's it's so hard for a guy to, you know, to get laid. I guess you know. I mean, because he has to, like, you know, all the chick has to do is say, "Hi, what's your name?" It doesn't matter. She could be fat, ugly. I mean, it's just, I saw some sort of video. It was this guy was kissing on a midget, and the guy was this lanky dork dude, and the midget was sitting like on a ledge, right? Some sort of like window or something. So they're, you know, at the same level. And this guy busted out his smartphone, whatever, and it's like, oh hell no, or whatever. And the guy turns around and he's like, yeah. And the girl probably, I felt kind of sorry for the girl, the midget, but there's this guy. His name's Joey Swole, and he's like a bodybuilder. I just stumbled across him, you know. So of course, every now and then, he has a lot of shorts where people. He basically calls people out, but like in a good way, you know. Like, you know, oh, you'll just have to go check him out for yourself. You know, like people who, you know, like chicks who are filming themselves, and there's a guy in the background, and she, of course, accuses him of creeping. You know, that's the way chicks work. You know what I mean? It's like, look at what you're wearing and look at what you're doing, okay? And they've actually, a guy like called, a guy came over and he's like, he recognized that this girl was like doing a video that was not, you know, she was doing it to be like sexy and get views. And the owner came over and he's like, you can't do that. Get out of my gym or whatever, you know. And she was doing like these little bouncy things, you know. It's like, get the fuck out of here. She's all like, they're warm ups for my quads or whatever. And he's like, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. You're over here squatting down, just bouncing up and down, you know, 6 inches. Get the fuck out of here. Bullshit. But, anyway. But there was this chick, I think she was at the airport, and there was this fat chick who was eating food, and the girl was basically making fun of her. Oh, shit. So, Yeah, so, yeah, that's what chicks do. They want you to look just on their terms. So, chickens be weird. So, because I remember that one time at that gas station, this chick was, wearing the spandex pants and all that, and she had some kicking curves, and she had the shape going on and all that. Because not all of them do, you know. But some of them, you get them and they're like, God damn, you painted that shit on, didn't you? So. And this is one of those chicks. So I'm standing right behind her, and I've got peripheral vision, right? Like a motherfucker. So, I'm creeping on her or whatever. I'm just standing there, hating on life. And, you can see that there's like a reflection in the window. So it's like she can see if I'm looking. Well, guess who's looking but not looking? I got your game. So, and then when it was my turn to go up to the counter, I don't know why she was doing this, I mean, I don't really know what was going through her mind, but it's like she stopped and like turned. Then I know there's probably somebody out there thinking, dude, she was just like, you're taking this, don't, get over yourself. But, like I said, I don't actually know, but it kind of seemed to me like she was kind of like, ooh, get a good look, you sexy stallion boy. So, I don't know. If anything, it's like they won't be denied. You know what I mean? It's like they just want it. It's like they're not happy no matter how it plays out. If you look, then it's like you creep. I'm not just a piece of meat with a personality. If you don't look, it's like, what? You don't like what you see? So you can't win. But would you want it any other way? Players. So whatever. And like I said, it depends on the dude. Obviously I'm a high value male. Alpha Sigma Chicken Salamander Commander. So I'm one of those dudes who gets to do whatever the fuck he wants. For reals. It ain't the suit that makes the man, it's the man that makes the suit. Do some of that pilot shit, man. You'd do it if I wasn't here. You have a chart here. Do some of that pilot shit, man. Oh shit, he's directly fucking behind us. This is not good. Okay, well, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do some of that fighter pilot shit. Alright? Hang on to your butts. Crank and bank. I remember when I was taking flying lessons, my flight instructor, he said, do you ride dirt bikes? I said, no. He said, because people who ride dirt bikes fly airplanes like you. Aggressive. I'm in a Cessna 172, right? All right, let's do our steep bank turns. Pull back on the yoke, bring it around, level it out, pull back, throttle up. I actually flew right back into I flew like a perfect circle, and I flew into the, like the air turbulence that you leave. And I shit you not, my flight instructor was like, oh, wow. Nobody's ever done that. The only people who are really capable of that are indeed fighter pilots. So thanks, man. Yeah, never became a certificated pilot. I had to keep canceling too many lessons, so he dropped me. So I never made it past the maneuvering phases, I didn't do no cross countries or anything like that. I basically just got to go fly an airplane around for a bit. You know, I've got like 40 hours, you know, which is actually all it takes to get certificated. But like I said, I kept just having to do the same thing because I do that. I mean, I did things just fine, you know. I mean, he said that, you know. He's like, I don't have to worry about you, you know. You know, I mean, I was a good pilot, quote unquote, I guess, but and like with the radio work too, he complimented me on that. He's all, most people, they push the button, you know, because you got to do your talkings, you know, Whiskey Delta 1729 entering the downwind, you know, blah blah blah, and you got to talk fast like that, like a pilot, which, believe it or not, I could do. Whiskey Delta entering the down crosswind, and you just announce your intentions, everything you're doing. But he's all, most people push the button and they just freeze up. But you know, I'm an Alpha Dog Sigma, just took command. Anyway, I'm just being silly. But had a couple crosswind landings. That's pretty cool. And again, nailed them. Fucking nailed them. So, and they're pretty technical. You got to think about what you're doing, because you're low and slow anyway. You still got to land the airplane. It's just you're landing in a weird configuration now. So that was pretty cool. And for those of you who don't know, what a crosswind landing is when the wind's coming in basically at an angle across the runway. So you have to crab it, it's called. You point the airplane with the rudder. You know, you're level on the wings, but you're pointing the airplane with the rudder kind of into the wind. And then you fly down, and when you flare out, right, you raise the nose of the airplane so you touch down, you know, rear wheels first in a tricycle configuration airplane, which most of them are, at the last minute. So when you enter the flare, so when you're about a wing's length, you know, above the runway, you're in ground effect and all this, that, and the other, it's time to flare out. Like I said, it's technical because now you're in ground effect, so it's time to land. But if you don't do it just right, well, now you're floating, you know, and it's like you just set the damn thing down, you know. And it's you know, landing is kind of, you know, it's kind of technical, you know. Anybody who's ever seen an airplane land, you know, like a YouTube video, be it a big one or a small one, especially the big ones, I mean, you know, they're you know, they're flying the shit out of that airplane. Because there's not as much wind, you know, going over the wings, you know, so your control inputs are exaggerated when you're low and slow, and you're trying to land. And you know, the landing, I remember I used to watch these videos from John and Martha King. They were pilots. You could be the best pilot in the world, but if you have a bad landing, that's the only thing that people who are non-pilots critique you on. So if you have a hard landing or bounce, it's called porpoising. You know, it's like, shit, we almost crashed. But the hell. Oh, so anyway, when you're ready to flare out, then at the last minute you kick, straighten out. You know, so if the wind's coming in from the right, you're crabbing it to the right, and then when you're into the flare, then you kick it left rudder, your other left, and you got to hold it, right, so because the wind's coming in. But you got to kind of work it a little bit. You're not just you got to keep straight, maintain center line, and then tilt the airplane into the wind. So you got left rudder, but the yoke is to the right. and you're flaring out, maintaining center line and keeping it straight. So the right wheel touches down first, then the left wheel, then the nose wheel. So it's actually really technical. So, and I got like probably 8 of them fuckers in. So the wind just happened to be blowing in from the angle that day. So anyway, I was almost a pilot. How do you know who's the pilot? Don't worry, they'll let you know. Anyway. Yeah, I'm going to become a certificated pilot just so I can fly up there in my bush plane, my short takeoff and landing, or STOL. Go ahead and look that up, dear online family and friends. Them things are fucking awesome. So I can fly up there and visit my future bestie Cool Breeze. So we'll just fly around in it, you know, like I can land in the parking lot, you know, at the Perkins. I could, it'd be illegal, but anyway. Those planes are awesome, dude. Those are tail draggers. So they throttle up, you know, and they raise the ass end up, which is how you want to talk as a pilot. Throttle that bitch up, get that ass end in here. All right, there you go, there you go. Let off the brakes. All right, let her do her thing. She wants to fly. She wants to fly. You just got to tell her what to do. Let her go, let her go. All right, there you go. What's your speed? All right, rotate. Gently ease back on that stick now. There you go. And we are flying. So, that's how I'm going to teach my future bestie Cool Breeze to fly. No, I ain't a flight instructor. It's just I don't want to fly all over the place. Maybe I want to look out the window. There you go. There you go. Now, see, the thing is, up here, you can't hear nothing but the engine. All right? Now, there's other people up here that maybe don't know what they're doing. So you at this altitude, so you know, you're this heading, so you're at this altitude, right? But there might be some fucking yak off up here who's letting his, you know, friend fly. I don't know what the fuck he's doing while he's looking out the window. Down at the gray, you know, quilt of the land. Everything looks the same up here. Oh, it ain't very romantic, is it? It's windy, it's noisy. Yeah. It's flying shit, yeah, it is. Noisy, cramped. So, always be scanning, my friend, looking for movement, looking for movement. A plane coming in, he'll be on you like stink on shit. You see something, all of a sudden there's a goddamn airplane and you're sharing the same airspace. Dancing's cool and all. I love dancing. Everybody loves dancing. I just don't want to do it in an airplane with another airplane 4,000 feet off the ground. So, because they do happen, mid-air collisions. They're rare. There's a lot of space up there, but anyway. Guess that's all I gotta say, baby. I'm 18 minutes. One last time for the record books, I want to mention I was almost a pilot. And I was a good pilot. The limited flying that I did. So, and I got towards the top of the class in the ground school. My flight instructor was a former Marine. Not that that matters, but you know, he was like a no-nonsense guy. He's not going to bullshit me. My ground instructor was a retired United Airlines pilot. And I was checking out my airplane, you know, filling out the paperwork. And he was there. And he's all, this guy got one of the stellar scores in the class. And I said, I don't see any reason why I couldn't have got 100. Because I got like 94%, which is pretty low, right? Maybe it was 96, I don't know. It was in the 90s, mid 90s. Now, it's multiple choice, but pilot multiple choice tests are harder. You do actually have to know the answer. because they all seem reasonable. Number one, they add about 2. So instead of 4 multiple choice and one of them you can just eliminate, there's 6 multiple choice and they all seem reasonable. So you have to know your shit. But it is still multiple choice. And I don't see any reason why I couldn't have got 100. And they kind of chuckled. And my instructor was like, I don't think anybody's ever gotten 100. And I felt like saying, well, I would have been the first, but I'm actually mailing this shit in. That's why I got dropped, because I had to cancel too many lessons because I was too drunk to drive to the airport, let alone fly an airplane. And I never picked it back up. So, I just want to say one more time for the cheap seats, which is all of you fuckers, I was almost a pilot. I should be flying airplanes right now. And I'd just settle in. I'd be like captain for the regionals. No, I'm good. I like my job security, thank you very much. I'll fly the little puddle jumpers, the connector flights. I'm good. And I'd probably be making about what I'm making now, driving a truck. But I'd get to wear an airline costume, I'd have stripes on my shoulders, I'd get the board to play first, and I got a little fucking hat with wings on it. One last time, then I'll put it to bed. I was almost a pilot. Ladies, you heard right. I was almost a pilot.